Hey guys, so my name is Matej Lancaric, and yeah, we're going to talk about soft launch. So yeah, this is me. I'm working at Boombit and Superscale, and I'm helping developers around the world grow their games and businesses. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about the soft launch process, but even before soft launch and some pre-soft launch activities, ASO, creatives. We are going to talk about the UA channels and then sums it up with some takeaways. So yeah, before even going to soft launch, you should do your homework and ask yourself a couple of questions. So I'm going to create the game. What game genre I'm going to create the game in? What's the monetization strategy? Is it going to be IIP based game or ad driven game? What's the competition in the genre I'm going to do this game? And the most important thing, can I scale the game with marketing? So you need to ask yourself a couple of questions before going to make a game. And while I was at Pixel Federation we did this kind of like tests before, and we did this theme testing on Facebook. So we picked three designs and ran ads on Facebook, and we found out that this right design won, and that design had the best. That design was the best performing, and we actually went even further and tested multiple names of our game. We tested Train Station 2 and Train Station Co. and Revolution, whatever else. And this Train Station 2 actually had the best numbers. But let's talk about soft launch, right? Why are we even soft launching the game? So we want to understand the audience. We want to collect feedback. We want to optimize the first time user experience. And obviously we want to test marketing channels. And ultimately we want to achieve LTV higher than the CPI. And of course, we want to test creatives and marketing channels and kill the game if the CPI is higher than the LTV, right? So here, this is a slide showcasing how you can improve the game in the soft launch. This is a Czech studio, our good friends, and they were able to increase the retention numbers, and not only retention numbers, but also monetization, right, during the soft launch. They were in the soft launch for half a year, and they were able to achieve like pretty big increase in retention at day 1 and day 7 as well. But when it comes to soft launch, I usually divide the soft launch into 3 stages. The first stage is basically a technical test. You want to test the game stability, check if the data is correct, the setup of tracking. You want to identify and fix critical bugs and issues. For this stage, we usually pick tier 4 countries. Tier 4 countries, I mean like Philippines or Mexico, where the traffic and the CPI is really low. And you need like a small amount of players. And it should be around like 1 or 2 weeks, and you don't need like bigger budgets for this technical stage. You just need like 50 or 100 new users to test everything. Then if everything is right, we're moving to the retention stage, right? Here we are measuring the retention KPIs, looking at day 1, day 7, and here we want to acquire relevant user volume. So, we can statistically significantly say that, okay, this is our retention, day 1 and day 7. For this stage, we're using tier 2 countries, which means for me, especially, it's Slovakia, Czech Republic, or Poland, or Denmark and Netherlands. And here in this stage, usually takes from 1 to 3 months, but depends actually on your budget and on your ability to iterate fast And here, actually, we are like starting with the Google Play build, and then after the first tests, we are adding the iOS build later on. Here we are measuring the first-time user experience, the tutorial completion rate, and the retention, and obviously the onboarding flow. For this kind of like tests, we need significant amount of players. So we have like statistically significant results. And for this number of players, we need kind of like a big budget, right? From 5K to 20K. Depends on the number of players and how long are you actually in this retention stage. So moving on from the retention stage, if your numbers are looking good, then obviously in this stage, the goal is to achieve LTV higher than the CPI. And here we are measuring the improvement in monetization metrics, and we are creating the ROAS-oriented campaigns, which means optimizing towards purchases, right? In this stage, we are using this Facebook. Well, Facebook is for me the go-to UA channel in soft launch. But here in the monetization stage, we are adding like more UA channels to test as well, like which channel is performing the best. So we have enough data to go to the global launch. Measuring here LTV, ROAS, and average revenue per user, and every monetization KPIs and payment behavior, right? And in this stage, we should think about adding like live ops and in-game events and offers. So the monetization stage is all about the LTV, right? And in this stage, we have to think about the budgets, since you need to acquire enough payers so you can measure the KPIs, and 20K a month should be enough for acquiring enough players. When it comes to countries, usually we're picking the English-speaking countries. Depends if you have like your game localized in different languages as well, but usually it's all English, right? And then we are looking at the device penetration. For example, Poland, it's like the Google Play penetration is quite huge, so that's why I usually pick this country for soft launch. And of course, we are like taking a look at the payment behavior as well. That's why we are adding these tier 1 countries in the monetization stage. For example, UK, where the payment behavior or the payers are. For example, with Darts Club, what we did, we took a look at like list of countries, then also compared the CPIs in sports category, and also took a look at the English speaking, and then the GDP per capita, so the payment behavior as well. And this is the list of countries that we picked for Darts Club soft launch. But as I said, these countries are like my favorites, which means like going to Philippines to test the technical stage, then Czech Republic, Slovakia. I'm from Slovakia, so it's like the local markets. And then Poland because of the Android penetration, and then adding Netherlands and Denmark and UK, which are like tier 1 countries to test monetization of the game. So every time starting at with Google Play, because we need like fast update cycles. We don't want to wait like 2 days, sometimes even more, for iOS to approve the game. And in Google Play Console, you have the possibility to experiment with ASO, which brings me here. And in soft launch, the ASO is a very important part. And not only in soft launch, but you should start with ASO in the early soft launch phase. Doing your homework with keyword research, but then obviously test screenshots, icons, and feature graphics at least one time. So here we have like 2 games, Tankseld and Seaport. And there's like a big difference. Can you tell me why, or why is it possible that there's like a huge difference in soft launch conversion rate, just out of nowhere. Well, the thing is that Tanksod was in soft launch for 3 months, and Seaport was for 6 months. So we had more time for the conversion improvement and for ASO testing. But you know, what should we test actually? The icon has the biggest impact on conversion rate. So we tested a lot of icons, and here I want to showcase that you don't have to like create very like different icons. It can be just small thing, and the conversion can be really big increase. But here I want to say that, you know, there's one thing. We have like 500 installs, and we can't measure or make a decision based on 500 installs, right? It's too small. That's why it's kind of important that you have your analytics team or someone you can actually talk and make decision based on data, right? And in soft launch, there's this opportunity to start these conversations and discussions between UA team, game analytics team, and game design team. And here, this is actually our like internal ROAS sheets, where we have a list of campaigns with all KPIs we are measuring, CPIs and ROI and everything, and spend as well. And here we have these sheets where everybody has the access and everybody is on the same page. Everybody can see what is actually happening in the monetization stage as well. And as I mentioned, the Facebook is actually my go-to UA channel for soft launching the games. And it's because we have really good cooperation with Facebook. But not only because of that, it's obviously because that the targeting on Facebook is sorry Mariusz, it's Facebook, you know. The best quality users actually, and you can target anyone. But I also have like the experienced team that has like 6 years of experience with Facebook marketing. But not only Facebook, in monetization stage you are like taking a look at the different UA channels, Google UAC, and other ad networks, so you know what is working before going global. And before going global, you have to be sure that you're going with these like best performing channels. But UA channels, that's one thing that you need to test. But also, let's take a look at the creatives we were testing for tanks. Last one. So yeah, these are the like 4 different types of creatives that we were testing with tanks. And actually that was me playing tanks. So if I stopped my career with marketing, I will be like a hand model for UA videos, because that video was actually like the best performing after like 3 days in terms of ROAS. But anyway, you were kind of laughing at these videos. That's our angle to make these kind of like funny creatives, and this is something that we see it's actually working, and we see that our players actually love these type of creatives, and we get like these comments that is, oh wow, this is amazing, and it actually works, right? So creative should be about emotions, and you should think about that while you're creating or testing the creatives. As I mentioned, actually during the monetization stage, the live ops or offers should be kind of important. This is something that can dramatically increase your revenue, and here we can see that with offers it's actually possible. This is something that we saw also while we launched Dig's Adventure at Pixel Federation, that these offers increase the revenues and increase actually like the global launch all success. And we, it's all about the LTV, and in soft launch, and if you can increase the LTV by any means, that you should be focusing on this, right? Because if the LTV is not higher than the CPIs, then you should think about, is it actually, am I going to, launch the game? You should take a look at the retention KPIs and the monetization KPIs and say, okay, maybe the KPIs are not looking very good. Then you should kill the game and move on. I know it sounds harsh a bit, but if you are in a soft launch for, I don't know, like 6 months and your KPIs are not improving, then you should simply like make the data-driven decisions and then kill the game and move on, and maybe the next game will be even better, right? But, talking about the soft launch, what you should do, you should set up and test the integration of the tools, setting up the MMP like the AppsFlyer or whatever else you are using, the data, and define the soft launch owner, who is going to be responsible for everything, who is the go-to person to talk and to know everything. You should set the goals and KPIs, because you want to be sure that everybody is on the same page and you're looking at the KPIs in the same way. And you should also like define the kill factor, right? So if the LTV is not bigger than the CPIs at the end or in the middle of soft launch and the KPIs are not improving, then that's it for the game. But you shouldn't be skipping the testing and optimizing the marketing channels with testing the creatives and testing the UA channels actually. And you shouldn't start a soft launch without having a proper plan, a proper UA or marketing strategy, also from the product point of view. And you shouldn't expect that somehow your game will grow organically without any UA. Maybe it's like one of 10 games that can do this, but it shouldn't be your strategy for the UA. You should be considering the UA spend for sure. And then you shouldn't make the decisions based on emotions or assumptions. You definitely need to make the data-driven decisions. So basically, the soft launch is the key for success of your game, and definitely soft launch is something that helps you global launch or kill the game. In soft launch, you should definitely test UA channels and creatives and pay attention to the ASO. And yeah, I think that's it, actually. Do you have any questions?